Hey, morning, y'all. Today it's Sunday, and well, I was gonna try to start recording this yesterday because I got a package in the mail from Veronica. Actually, I won a She always puts stuff in here that don't belong in here. But this don't feel just like what I won. But I won a giveaway on her channel. She went live for the first time after a while, and she was doing a giveaway, and I actually won. So she did. I won a charm bracelet. It don't feel just like a charm bracelet. It feels like a lot more, unless she just packed it really well. Oh, it's, oh my gosh, she sent the 50th magnet. Oh my gosh. Because we didn't cruise, well, we cruised last year, but we didn't cruise, oh, I like this, for the 50th celebration. So she sent me a cup. I asked her to get me a cup, and she sent it to me. And then she picked up a whole bunch of stuff, and this magnet was one of them. It is heavy too. It's cute. But thanks, Veronica. And then these are the charms she picked up from. This is the bracelet. And then these are the charms, and there's a lot in this bag too. I didn't expect all this. Good Lord. Thanks, Veronica. This is, it looks like it's a little cup. This is sunshine, and then there's some other little ones in here, and I'll put it together and I'll show you what it looks like in my next video, because I am going to do another video. This video was really to do unboxing and a shout out to Veronica, saying thank you for the magnet. Welcome, Jackson, to this crazy mess. And that's Jocelyn's son. Her son was born a few days before my birthday, but he's still a Cancer. And to give a shout out to my sister, because she's been there for everything. When Thomas passed away back at the beginning of 2021, she flew here from Oklahoma, and she has been, even though she emails me, calls, texts, everything to check up on me, she's been there. So just want to give her a shout out. And then also, as you can see from the title, Thomas had this BMW. He ran this thing down to, I was like, we need to get rid of this thing. I mean, it had a lot of miles on it. I can't remember the year, but it was a 325i, and I don't think they sell those anymore. But when I said we had to get rid of it, it was to where he used suction cups in the back window to hold up the window, and I didn't know that because I didn't drive the car. He did. And if I drove it, I didn't get in the back seat. But this one time I was in the back seat, and I noticed I could hear like a sound and the wind, and he had suction cups holding the window up. And then it was like the carpet, or not the carpet, but like the trim on the car, it was coming off, and he used some kind of like spray adhesive to try to put it back up. I think as long as that car ran and it was in good condition, I think he would have just kept on driving it. But when that window, I didn't know how much it was going to cost, because whenever you do something to that BMW, it just seems like a lot. It cost a lot. So we went to, Andy had a car total, and we went to the lot where we got our truck from. And they have like a liquidation outlet, like cars that sell under a certain amount. And we saw this blue Kia, and he was like, ooh, maybe we should trade it in. So the guy gave us like a good deal. We end up getting this Yankee blue Kia, and Thomas cleaned that thing, kept up with it, everything. He used to scoot around in it. He didn't care if he drove that truck, But he let me drive it for the truck, and he just cleaned that Kia, kept it, with his work hours. He didn't drive it much, and I mean, you was always, keeping that thing clean. So, like I said, as you can see from the title, yes, the car was stolen. I took the car to because Bubba is getting his driver's license, and he's been driving it, preparing for his driver's test next month. I took the car up to the dealer the main dealer where we bought it from, because it had like lifetime inspection, lifetime oil changes, So I took it up there, and I left it there overnight, put the keys in the drop box. Next morning, they called, and I wrote, what I wanted. I said, the check engine light came on. It, one time when I was driving it to work, and I wanted to be, checked. So, the guy said, well, the check engine light isn't on. Do you still want me to, put it on the machine, and how much it was going to cost? I said, yeah, that's fine. And then I said, also get a tune-up, because didn't know when was the last time Thomas said tune-up. And then I was going to get 4 tires on it, because one of the tires, the tire light kept going off. So, coming on. So one of the tires, we had to keep putting air in it, or we just put air in all of them. So I was going to get 4 new tires put on the car. Well, I went to, I was at work, thought nothing of it, never had a problem with this place, ever. Took cars up there, Andy's taking her car up there, no problem. Get a call, and the guy, he says, did any of your relatives come and get your car? And I was like, well, why would a relative come and get my car? And he said, well, he was saying how the technician said some guys came and took the car, and he thinks that the car was stolen and that he was going to call me back. Well, I didn't want to wait for him to call me back. I got on the phone with the police, started making a police report, because I don't even know what time the car was stolen. But I get up there, and the police asking me questions, I'm trying to ask them questions, and then the technician, and this is a kind of a condensed story. The technician, the technician comes out, not she, but he comes out, and he says that he had the car in the bay. It was hooked up to whatever the scan machine, diagnostic machine, I don't know what it's called. But the keys were in the car. I don't know if the car was running, whatever the case. He said he saw this, that some guys pulled into their back gate. One of the guys jumped out, and one of them jumped in my car. They took off out the back gate, where, I guess they keep the cars. Say if you have your car there overnight, or if they're working on your car. But the car was stolen, basically. So made the police report, talking to the manager after that, and I really felt defeated, because my last words to the manager, and I'm not going to say his name yet, but I said to the manager, I said, so that's it. I said, you make a police report, I make a police report, and I had no car. That's that's it. He was like, yeah. Well, I was upset, almost to tears, and we started getting in the car. I told Andy, go back and get the paperwork showing that I bought the car up there, because I really didn't know what the process was when something like this happens. Andy goes in there, and they say to her, well, what paperwork are and she was like, the paperwork showing that we're supposed to have work on the car. And he gave it to her, and that's it. I'm like, they didn't say anything. She was like, no. So the next day I get on the phone, and I'm trying to talk to people. They tell me, well, I can leave a message. So I left a message, no return back, no call back. They gave me somebody else's name. And then I said, well, if they're not available, they're not returning my call, who can I talk to? Everybody was saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. They didn't say call the general manager. They didn't say there's anybody higher up to talk to. Well, they give me a number to a Chesapeake place because this car dealer has other, places. I call there and the lady gives me a number to her GM. So I called and leave a message, no call back. I called back to the other store, but instead of talking to the service department, I talked to the sales department. And one of the ladies gives me, and I didn't get her name, that's what I'm saying, ladies, and I got the other lady's name, but she gives me the general manager of that store's name. This is like after I get off of work. So the whole time, everybody's saying they don't know, they don't know, they don't know. I get on the phone, I call my insurance, tell them everything that's happened, and they were saying, well, what are they going to do? And I said, I don't know yet because I hadn't talked to nobody. Nobody's returning my call. Well, I finally get a name from this lady of a gentleman to talk to. He was, like, I guess, general manager of this store, and he said, yeah, you're out of a car, we should be 100% responsible, and blah blah blah. That's all I needed to hear is y'all are going to take responsibility. He said he talked to such and such, and he needs to find out because it's never, in all his years of working there, it has never happened to them. Well, he calls the corporate office, thinking to myself, well, why couldn't they give me any number that all the other people that I talked to? So she tries to call me back, but I'm on the phone with my lawyer at this time. They were getting ready to give me information, and she calls me back from the corporate office, and she's saying that they found out what happened, and she said they don't even know if they have coverage for that, of what happened, and let her get back to me. And so right now I'm just still being left hanging. I call back and he was like, well, what's your email address? He said something about the insurance, give this to your insurance, and I guess they're going to, my insurance is going to call their insurance, and it'll supposed to be handled that way. Well, I don't feel like it should have gone through my insurance. It should be your insurance. So on the card that was emailed to me, there was no number on it. So I'm Googling. First I called the one lady that he recommended me to, and I said, well, do you have a phone number? Because I don't want to have to go search for this phone number. And she was like, well, let her get back to me. Well, I was on the phone with the insurance, and she was like, well, I can't really talk to you because their insurance, not your insurance. So then I said, well, I'm just going to call my lawyer. So then she started taking my information down, and I believe after I got off the phone with her, she called the other lady back, and in the process she was saying, well, they should have known what to do. Obviously they didn't want to, so whatever. But I don't know if they were told not to talk to me anymore, whatever the case. Didn't receive a phone call back. And then I received a phone call later on from the gentleman who is supposed to be the manager. They're going to take care of it. We need to put you in a car, when did you want to come up? And this is Wednesday. So this is on Wednesday. He says, well, when do you want to, come up? And then I told him, well, I get off at 2:30. When is somebody there that's available? And he was like, well, can you come up tonight? And then he was like, well, I'll call you back. So he calls back and he says, he calls back and he says Monday, you know, I'm going to call the Miami office and find out what we need to do for Monday. Haven't heard back from them yet. Today's only Sunday, you know, tomorrow's Monday, so hopefully I will hear back from them. But there's other things that have, you know, gone through my, you know, my mind. They need to do. I've had my locks. I haven't had to change my locks. You know, everything is uneasy. They didn't give me a loaner car to, you know, now I'm putting on my new car that I just got in May. I only had 7 miles on it when it started. Now, you know, I'm putting miles on it because I usually don't drive it all the time. I would take the other car, you know, to work sometimes. Well, I get a knock on the door and it's the news. And I'm going to put the link below. They kind of put it in perspective of, you know, of this, you know, of the car. And not just that it was a car stolen, but, you know, everybody knows Thomas is gone. So now I feel like, well, the car is gone too, you know. It's, you know, it just, you know, I try not to let it get to me too much, you know, because I want the kids to, you know, I don't want them to, you know, be like, oh, something else and, you know, feel a certain way. But hopefully this car place does right. And I don't want to have to come out of pocket for something that was not my fault. It was turned over to them. They've acknowledged that they had the car. They've acknowledged that they left the keys in the car. So they acknowledged they watched somebody pull into their back, the back of their business and take off in a car. They know the direction of the car. They could describe the car. They could describe the people. But the whole time they couldn't just, you know, I mean, I know they say don't go after the car, but they couldn't, you know, get license plates from the other car and whatever the case. I don't know. They should take responsibility. But they should. And there's going to be, I guess, part 2, part 3, coming to find out, you know, what happens in the long run. Because like I said, there was more to it than just, it was a car. You know, it was a 2018. I mean, I'll show you like a clip. Thomas, you know, well, I can show you, you can go to the video, but he's trying out these car products and he's cleaning the car, and I'll show you what the car. It was a 2018 Kia Soul, and it only had 50,000, I think like 52,000 miles, maybe just a little bit more on it. So they need to step up and do something. If not, I think I'm going to have to get a lawyer, and there's going to be maybe a part 3 to it, maybe a 4. But that's the gist of it so far. There's more going on, and I will come back, probably make another video, because I need to get back into, you know, making these videos, because we are cruising, not now, but soon. And like I said, stay tuned for maybe part 2, 3, hopefully not a 4. But till then, see you when we see ya. Peace.